Can being entrepreneurial reduce poverty? Is it possible that this is the key that would unlock the major impact that we seek to make in economic development? This is the topic for today. I know it's a big day for a lot of people, especially in Europe and Southern Africa. I suppose Africa as a whole. Either way, I can't lose. But anyway, back to the for the topic of today, and this is why this is coming live, because it's a big day in sports. So this is being recorded because I'm not sure what state people will be in tomorrow, later on tonight and tomorrow. So the key question then for today is, can being entrepreneurial reduce poverty? This is a follow-up on all of the conversation that we've been having as far as economic development and whether or not economic development is dead. So as was suggested, and I quite agree, that being entrepreneurial is what economic development needs to be. So it remains relevant to reduction of poverty. So this then begs a question, and these are I don't have any answers, but I just thought I'll put out these questions and see if we can get people, smart people in economic development, in other part of the economy, or anybody for that matter, that can explain or suggest answers to some of these questions. And maybe we can then begin to find a way through how economic development can become a whole lot more entrepreneurial. A disclaimer: this is not to suggest that economic development currently is not being entrepreneurial. This is not to suggest that in economic development we're doing something particularly bad and that we're not being effective. I strongly believe that we're doing amazing things in economic development to reduce poverty and elevate people into really good standard of living. But I just feel that we need to be able to do this a whole lot more. We need to be a bit more effective, especially when it comes to taking these ideas to scale. So, what are the questions that I have? What specifically is it to be entrepreneurial in general? What specifically is it being entrepreneurial in economic development? Is there a difference between being entrepreneurial in general and being entrepreneurial in economic development? And is being entrepreneurial, who needs to be entrepreneurial? Is it the donor that needs to be entrepreneurial? Is it the implementing firm that needs to be entrepreneurial? Is it the economic development practitioners that need to be entrepreneurial? Is it the poor people that need to be entrepreneurial? And when I say poor here, I mean economically active poor. Is it the private sector partners that we use in economic development that needs to be entrepreneurial? And is being entrepreneurial a skill that can be developed and transfer? And what are the implications for the work that we do currently in economic development? How far down the journey of being entrepreneurial are we in economic development currently? Out of 10, are we at 6? Are we at 7? Are we at 8? And what additional resources is required to get us across the line if indeed we fall short of being entrepreneurial? So these are the questions that I think will be useful for us to begin to address on this channel and in general in economic development, so we can begin to isolate exactly what it is that we need to do and we need to be better at, so we can begin to take some of the amazing ideas and innovations that we have in economic development to massive scale, so we can actually really see real impact of projects that have been in a particular country, in a particular area for a while. So I don't have answers to these questions. I have opinion on some of the questions. But what I wanted to do in this posting is just to invite you to please attend your mind to these questions, and please put some ideas in terms of answers to these questions in the comment section below. The more we can discuss this, the more people that gets involved in this, the greater the potential impact it will have in the world. We all need people to be out of poverty, because it is poverty that has been exploited by human traffickers, and we don't even want to go into the tragedy of war and all of those issues. So the question really is so we can begin to have constructive discussion about the best way we can reach scale. Scale is the key for me. So what have I said? Being entrepreneurial suggests that we can be a bit more impactful in economic development. So what are the implications of being entrepreneurial in terms of the skills of the people that are in economic development, in terms of the beneficiaries that are in economic development, in terms of the partners that are in economic development, in terms of the implementing companies and the donors? What does it mean for each of those group to be entrepreneurial? These are the questions I had for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope you leave comment, suggestions, and answers to some of these questions that I've raised. And all of this is just really to get a whole lot more people engaged, involved in economic development. If you do not like to put a public comment, please send me a private message. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck to all of the people that are waiting for the big match tonight. Thank you.